Welcome to the Quick Start Guide to Building Your First Survey. This guide is assuming you have already viewed the Quick Start Guide to Creating Your First Survey. If you have not, please view the mentioned before continuing with this video. In this video, we will be covering how you will build your first survey in a quick start manner. This is now assuming you've created your first survey already. Here you will find yourself within the survey building tool. You can access this area by clicking on the survey drop down, clicking on projects, selecting the survey you just created, and clicking on designer to access the survey you have created. And this will bring you to this screen, which we will use to build our survey. A few things to note on this screen. The right hand area where the cursor is where we will be dragging and dropping and building the survey. The left hand side second menu contains all the different options available to you when building a survey. And here at the top under saved items, this contains a library of pre-saved questions which you might have added into your own library, which is available to you and all your other colleagues who have access to your account on QuMind. To begin with, we'll take a look at this area called questions. This houses all the different types of available questions on the QuMind platform. To begin with, we have static text. This tends to comprise of a welcome message that you want to add into a survey. And to create one, we simply click, drag and drop into the right hand side into any available orange line. This will allow us to position the question in the area we require. You will see this new window will open. You will have a question label. The platform will generate the question label automatically, but you can edit this to suit your specific requirements. The platform will also add in a page break. The page break will ensure that the question or anything before the page break is displayed in an individual survey page. You can save changes, and it will create the holding area where we will add in any question text we want to add in for the survey. So in this case, we will be adding in our welcome text. You can do this just by clicking where this instruction is and copying and pasting in the text which you wish to add into the survey. You can of course type this in. I am using a demo questionnaire today. Once I'm happy with the layout of my welcome message, like so, I can now proceed on to the next question I want to add into my survey. So we'll work through the lists. The next question type is a text question. We can click, drag and drop. I now have an option to place this question after the page break, which will separate this question into a new survey page from the welcome message. If I want to show this question on the same page as the welcome message, I will simply drag and drop into the orange area immediately below the question. For this demo, we will place the question on a new survey page. The same type of window will open each time you add a question, but you will see new options appearing based on the question type. This time we have a new option called optional. This means when ticked, respondents taking the survey will be able to skip the question by not entering an answer. If we deselect, it means they will have to answer this question in order to progress in the survey. There is also an option for hidden. This will hide the question from survey respondents and they will not see this in the live survey. You, however, as a platform user, will see this question. Hidden questions are often used to calculate segments in the background on the go within surveys. If you wish to learn more about hidden questions, please consult our hidden questions guide. We will save changes to add in our question area, and you will see another instruction explaining where to add in the text. What we'll do here is add in our question text, like so. By copying and pasting or typing in our response. And you can see this particular question will now be presented as an open-ended question. So survey respondents will have to type in a response. We'll move on to the next question type, but before we get there, a few new things to look at on this screen. The first is the ability to edit questions without having to go back into each individual question and editing. What we mean by this is on-screen options become available, which you can select or deselect easily from the survey building dashboard. We also have the option Save. Now, an important thing to remember is if you do not save your work and you leave this window, you will lose all the changes you have made. Make sure you click Save so you do not lose any of your work. We also have this option Link. Link will allow you to create a test link so you can view the survey such as a survey respondent would view and test look and feel and routing. Before we progress into any further areas of these options, we will come back to question types and we will add in our next type of question, which is a multi-question. Multi-questions are every other question you can think of, including an interactive question library. Within this option, we are able to create ranking questions, multi-choice, single code, drop-downs, grids, and other image and media-orientated interactive questions. In this particular example, we can see some new choices have appeared. We have an option for multi-choice, which will allow respondents to select multiple answers to your questions. By clicking and a tick sign appears, you enable that option. By deselecting, you are telling the platform to make this question a single code response. An option for ranking has also appeared, allowing the question responses to be ranked. What we'll do is make this a multi-choice, and you will see the space for the question for editing appears once again. In this particular example, we are going to ask gender. As you can see, once again, I am copying and pasting in the question text, and I am also adding in my answer codes. So these are the responses that survey respondents will have to select from. To answer in your answer codes, simply click on the orange plus sign, and this will allow you to add in multiple answer codes in one go into the survey. Add bulk options, and you will see we now have all the options available to us in this particular question. Because this is a gender question, we will disable multi-choice, making it a single code response, and we will save our changes so we don't lose our work. Within the multi-question area, there is an extensive library of interactive or different layout type questions. This question library is called a Sparkle within the QuMind platform. There are over 50 different types of questions available within the question library. We will create a new question and we will explore the question library. So I'm going to drag and drop my multi-question. You can see we've got Q4, which has been following the pattern that the system has generated. Again, you can edit this if you need to. We have options as per before. This time we're going to enable multi-choice and we will save changes. On the screen, again, just like before, we have our area to add in our question text at the top. So in this case, we will select our question text, copy and paste into the system, arrange the layout if we want to change it, and then we will add in our options using the orange plus sign so we can add several options in one go. As we copy and paste over, you will see there are options to add images. Once you've added bulk options, you'll see all the answer codes have been added into the question. We will save our changes so we don't lose any of our work, and we have now created a multi-choice question. If we wish to add in an interactive question type, we can do this by coming into the question library, which, as mentioned, is called a Sparkle on the QuMind platform. We can access the interactive question library by clicking on the three buttons within the question we've created where we want to use an interactive type question or perhaps a different layout for the question. When we click on the three buttons under Sparkle, we can click on Add New Sparkle. Within Add New Sparkle, you'll see there is a library and it has many different types of questions. If you wish to learn what types of interactive questions are available, please consult the demo survey link, which hosts a library of questions which you can interact with. You can find this within the support wiki. If you're searching for a particular type of question, you can type that into the search bar. In this case, we are going to add an image question. So if I type in image, you'll see the library underneath. It's giving me all the different options available for image type questions. In this case, we have this particular preview. So in the library, you can see a preview of the question type. You can even click on Show Me and see what that question looks like. If you wish to incorporate this interactive question into your survey, you can simply click on that question to gain a preview, or you just click on the option from the library Image Select, and it will open up a new window asking you a series of very quick, simple questions. Because we selected an image-based interactive question, it will ask us for an image. We can click on Image, and then we can download an image into the survey. In this case, we will add in this particular image. Once it's uploaded into the platform, we can select, and then we can look at a few other options if we wish to customize. In this case, we don't need to change anything as it is all default. We can save our changes, and we have now converted this question into an image selector interactive question type. The Sparkle library allows you to access many different types of questions. Further examples include the option for carousels, which are named Wizzy grids within the platform. This will convert any grids you create into a carousel type question, allowing for a much better survey respondent experience. Further options within the survey building tool include the ability to create routing and or branching. In order to create routing and or branching, we can click on the two squiggly line icon named Edit Logic, and we locate the question where we wish to apply branching or routing within the survey. The question that we apply it on will then behave in a particular way dependent on the type of branching or routing you create. In this example, we will select Q4 and click on Edit Logic. This will load up a new screen, and within this screen you will see the survey which you are currently building and all the available routing options in that survey. In this case, the only one we have available is gender, and we can select different aspects of the gender question for our routing or branching. In this case, we're going to drag and drop female into this area on the screen, and we're going to show Q4 only to those survey respondents who have selected female at Q3 and save. Once we save that question, we will see that the squiggly line has now applied our routing into the question, and this question will only appear to those who select female earlier on in the survey. We can add further routing and make it a lot more complex if required. In this case, we have what is your gender, it equals female. If we want to make it if they select female or male and they see Q4. And we can even add in further routing such as they select statement 1 from Q4 as an example. We can also hide questions, so we can create a formula above and hide the question instead of showing. And then we save changes in order to apply that to the question. Make sure you save your changes before continuing. And we can test our survey by clicking on link. This will open up a new screen where a test link has already been selected, and we can click on Take Me There to view an example of the survey that we have just built. We can see what the survey will look like to survey respondents. We can enter in our example responses as we move through the survey, and we can interact and ensure the survey is working exactly as we want it to. Further to this, we have a series of other question types available. These include command questions, which will allow you to make the survey behave in particular ways. You can click, drag and drop, and then this will open up a series of options. Different options are available, and they are many. Examples include making respondents jump to particular questions, ending the survey with a particular status. So if they complete the survey, you set them to end the survey as a complete interview. You can even give panelists points, credits, and so on. Please consult the guides around advanced users and command questions for further information. Further options include question option. This is merely a quick way to add in another answer option into an existing survey. For example, here we could add in the option other, save changes, and now we've added other in here. We can achieve the same by clicking this grey plus option as well. Question row. We can drag and drop in a question row to change a question type into a grid by click, select, drag and drop under rows. To create a question grid or a table, we simply add in our question text and options, and then we come to the area rows, click on the orange plus sign and add in the response options for rows of your grid. In this case, we will use letters to demonstrate. Because we've converted this into a grid and it was already an interactive question named a sparkle, the system has disabled that sparkle to allow for the grid to happen. This is now a grid question by adding in your rows. We can re-enable the interactive question if we decide not to use a grid by clicking on the three buttons and enabling the question type once again. In this example, we will delete and remove the question type and save our changes. Further in this area, we have several other options available. We have this ability to add a module, And a module will create a holding area for a group of questions. You will see below I've added in a new module, which will then allow me to add in multiple questions within this module. It will then allow me to set routing on groups of questions within the module in one go, instead of setting routing on each individual question. Order groups will enable you to randomize survey responses. You can enable this by clicking, selecting, dragging into your options area, and then selecting the options which you wish to randomize by dragging them into the randomization box. You will see the first three options are now going to be randomized, and the final 5 options will be anchored and will not randomize in the question. Options for random shuffle can be seen above. There is the ability here to add page breaks, so we can add further page breaks to make questions appear on their own on one survey page, or we can remove page breaks by clicking over the page break rubbish icon and removing them, allowing this question to show on and together with other questions on the survey page. We'll save our changes once again, and we will come over to the saved items. Saved items represents a question library which you're able to build within your account. The saved items question library enables the account holder to add questions which they may use on a common basis and save them for use later by clicking on the question they wish to add to the library by the 3 buttons and clicking Save to Library. You will be prompted to add in a name, like so, and save changes. And then that will be added into the library for you to be used at a later date. We can save our changes and we can move ahead. If we skip into another previously built example, we can see the ability which is enabled within question libraries by clicking on saved items, and you can see in this pre-built question library we have saved gender, so we can click, drag and drop, and the gender question is created immediately. And we also have examples such as age, again drag and drop and added into the survey building area for you, like so. We will return to the previous example where we built our other survey for the purposes of this demo by clicking on projects, selecting the survey and clicking on design. And you'll see we've now returned into the survey that we have been building. You can see the question library here as well has now been created, and this has given us the ability to drag and drop questions. If you wish to save a group of questions into this library, you can do this by clicking on the module where the group of questions exists and saving that to the library, and it will save a group of questions together for you. Once you've tested your survey using the testing option and you are happy to proceed to go live, the next stage would involve moving to the surveys area and into project management. Please note that by this stage you would have added in any quotas and any screening or disqualification type criteria. For more information on how to create quotas and or screening disqualifications into surveys, please consult the relevant guide. When we go to set a survey live, we can move into the projects area. We can select the survey we wish to set live. In this case, we are setting live the car survey. We can see the current status is disabled, which means the link will not work if you send this to live respondents. Go to the 3 options, the 3 dots, and click Activate. You'll see the survey is now active and ready to be sent to respondents. For more information on how to create email invitations, please consult the Email Invitation Creation Guide for next steps.